But if I heard this quote from someone from somewhere, um, I think Kashmir said it at ADE, was
Okay.
that if you're not, if people can't use you, or if you're not
Oh yeah.
usable, you're useless. If you're
Yeah.
not usable,
Oh, I love that.
you're useless.
100%.
And that was so powerful when he said it. It's like, yeah, that's true.
100%.
And I know that people use me because I'm in a position where I could help them.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I know people contact me because I have Spotify playlists
Yeah.
that do streams. Otherwise, they would never reach out to me. But it puts me in a position where I could say,
Yeah.
okay, are you
Power.
can we maybe work together? I'm getting contacted by artists, by labels.
Yeah.
Labels that otherwise would ignore me are contacting me now all of a sudden because they want something from me.
100%.
And instead of being like, oh, that's unfair, why would you talk to me now all of a sudden? I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we can work something
Things are
out.
turning.
Yeah.
You gain power,
So
and
the-
you
the
should
best-
use it. You worked for this.
Yeah, the best you can do is like, don't beg for stuff. Keep working,
Yeah.
work hard, dedication.
No, offer the people something.
Use Jon Sine as example. His dedication for the videos is insane.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
use that dedication, work towards something you believe in, become as big and valuable as you could be,
Yeah.
and then like for some reason you start becoming a magnet and you start attracting the right people, and then you filter out who can I work with, who shouldn't I work with. Work with the people where you can grow together.
Yeah.
If
You give them something, you help
Yeah.
them, they get bigger, then they help you, and it's like
Yeah.
back and forth. And if it works like that, it
Yeah.
could turn into a friendship.
exactly.
But be also aware that a lot of people on that way will screw you
A lot of
pretty
people
hard.
will try to take advantage of you,
Oh,
so
yeah.
be very careful with that. Especially the bigger you become,
Yeah.
the more leeches you will encounter. But I feel like, I think a good analogy is to look at it this way: everyone has their own path. So I'm going to the north, for example,
Yeah.
and you might want to cross me, go another direction, and you want to go your path, and you want something from me. We're crossing paths, but it's not the same direction, so it doesn't make sense to work together.
No.
Even though they will try to convince you to work on their path, and you might get persuaded. Don't do that. But if you meet someone that's on the same path and be like, hey,
Yeah.
we might as well just work together on this because we have the same goal, we're good friends or whatever, we can work together on something.
Yeah. And if it's even
Then
just
it makes
for a
sense to do
certain
it.
part of that path that you
Yeah.
work together,
Yeah,
you
and-
could still go either way later
exactly.
on.
So also don't be scared to say no to things that don't add value to your path and your life. People will not take it personally most of the time. If they do, it's up to them.
Yeah.
Most of the time they'll be like, oh, that makes sense, we can work on that, that's cool. But they're just checking if it's something you can work on. Like, for example, as you said now with the podcast, I like doing this kind of stuff. I like talking about this stuff. So when you asked me about it, for me it makes sense. Yes, let's do this, of course. But that's because you're working on the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of people might enjoy the tips and tricks and
Yeah, of course.
everything. Also, especially in the underground part of of electronic dance music, a lot of people start their own club night, promote it.
Yeah.
Then they're a DJ and promoter. Eventually, they book the DJs they love. Then, because they booked them, they can play their demo to them. Then they might get signed to that label. And this way, they build up their career. There are many, many ways to get there. And you basically have to take every opportunity that life throws at you and not just... Because at the very beginning, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's just distracting me from making music. And at the very beginning, yes, you have to learn how to make the music. So you should focus on that. But once you get to a point where it's good enough to be released, you should do anything you can. Like even the really big artists, they still come to dance fair.
Yeah, I think like you said, it happens a lot with people having their own club nights and booking each other. And that's how they kind of grow. Like, you book me, I book you.
Yeah.
And then
They use each other.
started getting
but
into music. But like you just said, like in the beginning, you just focused on music. You didn't take any opportunities.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you started doing almost everything. I think I had the same thing where in the beginning, I was just focused on making music. That was what I liked. I did a little bit of camera work in between, so I could, meet some people, go to some cool festivals, parties, whatever. That really helped. Like just getting out there.
Yeah.
So like going to stuff like 80 Dance Fair.
Because you
going
can
to
make the best
festivals.
music on the planet if no one knows you.
Yeah, at least try to be, meet some people, especially meet like-minded people. And then now it's easier than ever because you can go to forums, Facebook, Reddit, whatever. You can find so many people that do the same thing as you do.
Yeah.
And start sharing stuff. It makes it a lot more fun. But yeah, in the beginning, prioritize what's most important. After a while, you start doing a lot of stuff. And then after a while, you start noticing I'm doing too much stuff. I have to cut it down.
I passed that point already.
Yeah, for sure.
Last year, it was so much that I didn't sleep. I didn't hang out with my girlfriend enough. I didn't watch movies. I was just working. So I started employing people. That was the only option to continue growing. And I think it's the natural step. And now also you got people for your label.
Yeah, there's people that help me, but I have to also say I used to do a lot more things, and I got a lot of opportunities to work on different projects, also outside of music. But after a while, I just had to, like, even though it was a really good opportunity and I really wanted to do it, I felt like if I do this thing, I've already, been sort of in that situation before where I had too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then you can't really do it 100%. So you're just doing everything half.
Yeah, I think it's like cutting a tree's branches
really
to make it stronger again.
Yeah, you really need to prioritize what's most important. Pick a couple things that really work for you and focus on that. That's so much more. Of course, you can try different stuff, see what works, what doesn't. But yeah, you also got to be harsh. You got to protect your own time. If you can't do that, then everyone's gonna take your time.
I start a new project, get it to the point where it works, and then I try to either employ someone to take that over and just keep it running, or I maybe just realize it's a failure and I just cut it, or I'm getting so good at it and so fast that it just takes 10% of my time and I still have 90% to do the next and add it. Because I started producing music. I tried doing my own club shows and events. I failed miserably. I had my own radio show on one of the biggest radio stations in Germany. It failed miserably. Ghost Productions for 3 years, which was quite successful, but I was unhappy. And then the vlog never really worked the first year, but I just kept on doing it because I believed in it. And a lot of side things in between that I never discussed publicly. I just try out, do not work, next thing. And just cutting the stuff that doesn't work.
That's a funny thing because on social media and YouTube and whatever, you always see the successes. You never see the failures.
I try to share as many of the failures.
I know you do,
as
but
I can. In general, social media is like a fake, happy place, and
don't get discouraged by it at all.
I could open on my phone and go through like the Instagram stories and tell you about everyone what really is happening, and you would start crying because it's so fake what they show and what's really going on. It's weird. I think like especially maybe it's even dangerous because some DJs, producers out there might see this huge, big superstar DJ life and think that's the best thing on the planet, making money with what you love, DJing, touring. But they forget about the downsides of all of it.